10 years have passed, but we have not forgotten, and we wish to honor the lives lost and those left behind, particularly our 4 alumni and their families.
Well, a year ago, we began what I'd call an odyssey, or labor of love, where a former Board of Education member, Sue Skirbo, was able to find that the Port Authority was offering artifacts from the World Trade Center to any group, educational or civic group, that was interested in putting together a memorial. So we brought that to the attention of our Civics and Justice Academy, one of our courses here, senior-only course. One of their primary things that they get involved in is project-based learning, called Project Citizen. And they adopted this as their project. They designed it, they fundraised for it, they implemented, they networked with our art department, our music department, our family and consumer science department, and they were able to finally have a beautiful memorial for the 10th anniversary of the September 11th, 2001 attacks on America, where 4 J.P. Stevens alumni died that day.
It comes from a project that we do. It's called Project Citizen. It's a student-initiated activity which we do every year in our Civics and Justice Academy. And basically what happens is that students pick the topic for the year, and this year they picked the September 11th Memorial, which they created over the course of last school year. And basically during the course of the year, they go through every stage of creating the memorial. It's an interesting project, totally student-driven. They deserve the majority of the credit for creating this wonderful memorial.
We believe that the ones who died should have been remembered in a big way, not just a piece of metal put in a shadow box in the hallway. We wanted it to stand out and be memorable to everyone, whoever walks by through this lobby, either once or every day for high school or being a teacher, whatever. So we wanted to make sure that it was special, and that the families feel honored, and that their loved one is loved and will always be loved.
So we have been working on this since September 2010, and today it finally culminated, came together, and was presented to the families.
When we knew that we had the piece of steel, the artifact from the World Trade Center, we then, the Civics and Justice Academy, decided to come up with a design contest internally, and they also turned to the art department here at J.P. Stevens, which is excellent. And they got a whole bunch of different designs, and they decided on basically this the large granite base, as well as the wooden pedestal and the glass encasing for it. But it was quite a process to wean through some ideas.
Our original plans were much smaller. Over the course of planning and fundraising, we were successful in continuously raising money, and because of it, we just kept on reinvesting it into the actual memorial itself. I honestly thought it'd be like a small box with basically containing that piece of the World Trade Center when we first started. It's just a testament to the work that the students did, that they were able to create that.
We put so much time and effort into it, and I'm just very pleased with the outcome, and I'm very proud to say that I collaborated with a group of amazing people to come up with it.
I think it did help emotionally. I think there was some closure because this was a really long process. It was an entire school year, and we have had people in our lives that passed away, whether they were friends, or our own family members, or just really anyone. We've all been touched somehow, and this really just finalized those loose ends of emotion.
Every September 11th, our social studies department here at John P. Stevens does some sort of remembrance activity, bringing it back into the forefront for our students. And it ended up that year, the majority of them were in 2nd grade, and a lot of them were affected because they were pulled out of school that day. Their parents took them out. So actually it had like a long-lasting effect on it, it seemed, and I think that's the reason why they were concerned with it when it came around for this 10th Remember.
This is history now for them, and it's an interesting thing for, I think, adults to come to grips with, because as we lived through it, these kids, it's something new, and they need to be provided some strong context of what went on, and sometimes they need to be, age appropriateness is very important in the way that we deal with this curriculum, and we are.
A lot of us, like me myself, I've had a family member that passed away. So for everybody who is that age, 8 or 9 years old, it's a big deal, and it's a lot to go for when you're 8 or 9. Now, I think a lot of us have a lot of feelings with it, and it's not a good feeling, but you got to live with it as you go older. So
we put in a hard year's worth of work to try to create this memorial here, and it was through their hard work that we were able to do it. I was only a guide along this journey. They did the majority of the labor, and I think that needs to really be, presented to the public.
We hope that what we have constructed will last forever here in such a prominent spot at J.P. Stevens High School, but you'll get a sense today that the legacy of our lost alumni from that day will never be lost from this high school, will never be forgotten, because our students and the spirit of the students in this high school carry that forward. These were alumni who went out there, did for their community what we would all want to do for their families and for the greater good. And what I would like to do today is give you a sense of how inspirational they were and they are to J.P. Stevens still today. We'll always try to live up to the highest standards and continue what we are doing and continue to do as exhibited by our students. They're showing you hopefully today in the culmination of their work. We'll continue to continue that legacy and know that our thoughts and prayers are with you today, this weekend, and always.
Whereas the tragic events of September 11, 2001 will be forever remembered in the hearts and minds of the people of the United States of America who suffered together as a nation. And whereas on that fateful day, along with thousands of victims, J.P. Stevens High School of Edison, New Jersey, suffered the loss of 4 alumni. And whereas in September 2010, the J.P. Stevens Civics and Justice Academy commenced with plans to construct a 9/11 memorial in the lobby of the high school. And whereas the memorial will serve as a remembrance of the 4 alumni who tragically lost their lives during the terrorist attacks on September 11th, 2001. And whereas etched forever in the wood and granite base beneath the steel beam of the World Trade Center are the names of the alumni who will never be forgotten. And whereas we gather here today to honor, remember, and dedicate this monument to their memory. Now therefore, I, Antonio Rosigliano, Mayor of Edison, New Jersey, do hereby honor Alan D. Kleinberg, class of 1979, Brian E. Martineau, class of 1982, Kevin S. Cohen, class of 1991, and Scott M. Schertzer, class of 1991, and encourage all residents to honor these fine men on this, the 10th anniversary of September 11, 2001.